Hey everybody, I'm Brian, this is my TJ Ivy, and welcome to 642 Jeeps. Morning everyone. So today we're going on a bit of an adventure with some of our 642 Jeeps crew here. Our buddy Robin broke an axle in the bush last night. I got a call just around supper time that he was hiking out of the bush and was in need of some assistance. So we've gathered 2 or 3 of our Jeeps here and we're gonna go. We got spare parts and we got tools and stuff, and we're gonna go up and rescue him out of the bush. So the weather's great today, sun's shining, it's gonna be a beautiful day, so we're gonna go up and get his Jeep fixed and get him back on the trail, and then maybe we'll go do some wheeling afterwards just to keep it interesting and fun. So stay tuned, we're gonna have a great day. So Robin, tell me what happened. Where are we going? What are we doing?
We're broken. We're going to retrieve my Jeep and a busted rear axle.
Is it going to be hard to get out? Do you think we'll have a nice easy time doing it?
It'll be easy. It's ready to go already. I readied it up before we left.
Excellent, will be good. So this is our buddy Robin. His Jeep's broken. We're going to go and rescue it today. We got our buddy Ken here. He's going to bring his Jeep. And my buddy Mike over here is bringing out his Jeep. So we should have an easy time of going to getting it and rescuing it. So. Okay, so we're on the road, we're rolling, we're heading to the trail entrance here where we gotta go. It's a bit of a ways in the bush. It's probably gonna take us an hour or so to get there, maybe more. Hopefully there's not too much mud and gross to try to get there, but that's always part of the fun too. So we'll get in there and we'll get them fixed up and we'll get them out. Hopefully the weather will hold. The weather's good right now, so we should be all right. I'm hoping the sun will stay out. There's a few clouds in the distance, but it doesn't look too bad. So we're gonna hope for the best and try to get it done fairly quickly and get them out of the bush and everybody out safe and on their way. Okay, so we're on the trail, we're heading in, we're just getting going here, got aired down, got everybody lined up, ready to go. We're just gonna head in and go find this broken axle TJ that we got to fix. So we'll be out and about for a bit. Hopefully it won't be all day, but we'll see what happens. That's always part of the fun and the adventure of going out on these rescue missions. So we'll go rescue them. So we got some fun little obstacles here. I don't know if you guys can really see them, but they're kind of off camber a bit. Logs and roots and stuff we got to drive over. Somebody's built a little bridge here. I'm guessing it was probably one of the quad guys from one of the cut ditches, but we'll get through it. There's lots of mud and puddles and stuff out here to drive through, and lots of fun dirt little uphills and lots of ruts. Looks like there's been quite a few people out on the trail here, so that's good though. I'm glad to see that these trails are getting kept open so that we've all got somewhere to wheel and somewhere to play out here in the bush, because we sure enjoy doing it, but there's access is so limited sometimes that it's hard to get out when we want to, but we're getting there. Hopefully we'll get some more trails opened up here and we'll be able to go and do more of the stuff that we love to do the most. So you get these big roots sticking out here and big rocks like this. It makes it fun because you got to climb up on them and climb over them and wheel over them and slip and slide in the bush and get all sideways. It's fun. As we're on the main logging road now, got a bit of a ways to go before we get to the next trail entrance to get up to where Robin's Jeep is. So it's so peaceful out here this morning. We left super early just to get out here to get it done and have the rest of the day to play if we wanted to, and it's nice. I haven't seen anybody else out here but us and a couple of deer, and that's it. Lots of bear scat on the road though, so we're gonna have to keep our eyes open for that. So it's always good to come around a corner and run into a great big giant bear, but I think we'll be all right. I haven't seen any yet, just deer, but it's peaceful and beautiful out here. I like it. So this is always a fun obstacle. I always like this one. You got to go way far to the right to get through it. It's a lot shallower than it used to be. This used to be a really hard one to get through, but it's not too bad now. You just got to get up and over the ruts and pretty much just bump it and go for it. So we're gonna try here and see what happens. That's a rock. We got it. We're good. Just bounced off the rock a little bit, but had to get a good solid bump to get through there. We're through. Carry on. So we're coming around the corner here and I spy off in the distance a little bit of a TJ. I think we're almost there. We're gonna roll up on it here and see what we got up against. Doing an axle swap. We got spare axles and spare parts. So it's on a nice flat spot right here. So hopefully we can get it fixed and we'll get out of here in quick order. But there's our culprit. There's the one we're coming to rescue right there. So we made it. We're here and now we're gonna go and fix a Jeep. So a quick little walk around here. This is what Robin strung up last night before he walked out of the bush, just to keep the axle in. These C-clip axles, as anybody that's got a TJ knows, if the axle breaks and the axle pops out, it spits the wheel out. So you got to get MacGyver with something to make it fit and stay in there. So we put a log in there, got this far, but then couldn't get any farther. So we're gonna have to go around and check it out here. So this is what we're up against. This is what we're doing. Just got it jacked up. Got the diff cover off. I don't know if you guys can see it there. It's kind of hard to get down underneath it, but we're gonna have to pop the little stub shaft out that broke and then put the new axle in, but shouldn't be too bad. We got enough hands here. I think we'll get it done pretty quickly. So this is what we managed to pull out of the diff. Most of it's come out in little chunks like this. I guess when Robin blows something up, he blows it up good, but hopefully we can get all the bits out and get the gear set back in so that none of these chunks end up going through the spider gears and wiping it out on the way back. But we're getting her done. Most of it's been done already, so we just got a few more pieces to get out. We brought gear oil and stuff to top it back up. We just got to make sure we get all these broken chunks out and none of them go back in. Well, it's out. That was the culprit right there. Busted it. Just chunks of it everywhere. What a mess. So now we're going to get it all cleaned up, get it all filled back up with fluid, put a new axle in it, put it all back together, get the gear set in, and carry on with the rest of the day. I guess we'll go do some wheeling after this. This was easier than I thought it was going to be, so hopefully we don't have any issues on the way. And you can see the spiraling in it where it broke right there. He loaded it up good when that snapped. So I guess, you know, if you're going to send it, you might as well send it good. Okay, so we got the gear set out. We got the broken bits out. Everything's done. Robin's just buttoning it back up now. We got the gear set back in. So once he gets that back on and we get the diff cover and fill it back up with fluid, put the axles in, we should be ready to go. It went pretty darn smooth. We're pretty happy with how it worked out. Hopefully we'll be back on the trail here shortly. So here's a little thing, guys. If you're gonna put wheel spacers on your wheels, that's great, but they only need to be torqued to 100 foot-pounds. We had 2 guys holding the axle shaft and all 300 pounds of me jumping on a breaker bar to break those loose. That is way too tight. Don't put them that tight. All you're gonna do is strip the lugs and the threads and break them. To further add to that, it was not the owner of the Jeep that did that, but the last tire shop that he went to that put them on with an impact gun. So just snug them up loose by hand and then torque them to 100 foot-pounds, or you're gonna end up breaking stuff and cause more problems. So we got the diff back together. Ken's tightening up the wheel spacer right now. Robin's just putting the diff cover back on. We should be on the road here pretty soon. It's just a matter of getting that torqued and getting the tire put back on, and we'll be good to go. To show you guys a difference in the axles between the one that broke and the one that didn't, this is what it looks like. So there's the broken one with all the bits and pieces and chunked off of it. And that's what it's supposed to look like with all the proper splines and everything on it where it's not destroyed. So, yeah, that axle's junk. That axle's good to go. Oh, Robin, what do you think? 3 hours from the time we left.
That's not bad.
Back together, diff out twice.
That's not bad.
Axle's in, wheels are on. She's good to go.
Good team effort.
Good effort, guys. That was awesome. We got her back together. Now we can go explore.
Time to wheel.
Time to wheel. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Okay, so it's all fixed and ready to go. We're going to head out from here. I'm just going to back up and turn around, and we're going to head down the trail and go wheel for the rest of the day. That was a lot of good effort on everybody's part. Everybody pitched in and we got it done, and he's fixed and on the road. So let's go wheeling. So this is a perspective I don't get very often. I'm actually following Ken and Christine. Ken is normally my tail gunner on the trail under normal circumstances, so it's cool to actually be in the pack sometimes and be able to follow guys out. Robin's coming out behind me. His Jeep seems to be fine, doesn't seem to be any issues, so I think we got it sorted out, which is great. It's awesome. I'm glad that they got it fixed, and we're on our way. So we're gonna go find something to do here the rest of the day. We're gonna get back down to the main logging road and reassess what we're doing. So finally get to our first little obstacle here on the trail, a little crossing. It's not that big of a deal, it should be all right. So Robin's Jeep seems to be rolling real good. Mike went through, Ken and Christine just went through, so it's my turn now. We're gonna have to bump up that little rock a little bit there, I think, but that'll be okay. It shouldn't be too bad, I don't think. Other than these guys made it soaking wet and slippery, but we'll get up there. We're gonna go here. We got her, we're good. Everybody's carrying on. I'm watching Robin in my rearview mirror, make sure he gets through all right. Yeah, he's through safe, we're good. Carry on down the trail. This was always a fun little one coming back through here like this one too. You get a good perspective and you see the other Jeeps in front of you crawling through. We're all just wheeling along. Let Ken and Christine get there a little farther. And there's quite a drop off here. I don't know if you can see it, but on the right hand side there's a really big log stump and then a rock on the other. It was the rock on the other side I hit coming up, and then it drops off right there and then drops off right there on the bumper, and then you got to drag it over the log and up the other side. So that's a fun little obstacle. I like doing that one. It's enjoyable. I always love these trails when you come down and all you can see is the ocean and across the valley, and it's always so pretty. I remember how much fun it is coming out this way. We don't get over on this side of where we normally wheel in our mountain range here, so it's fun to come back over on this side before we go across to the other side and remember the views and the trails and stuff that we have. It's a pretty great place. I like it. It's a lot of fun. The broom's really in bloom. It really stinks. I got allergies for it and it makes me sneeze, but it's all good. It is what it is. We'll just keep going. So fun little obstacle here. Good to come down, pretty tight. I bounced down it good. Mike seems to be doing okay. Gotta watch your mirrors on them trees. It's pretty tight. We made it through there. Robin's up next in the little TJ. You should have no problem. Little TJs are so nimble, they just wheel right through there. Good job, buddy. Woo! And Ken and Christine are coming down. This hill's gotten gnarly. Lots of people have been using it. It's gotten chewed up pretty good. Still a fun obstacle though. It's fun to crawl down. You gotta go nice and slow, basically use gravity. Look at that thing, flax. Good work, Ken. Woo! There you go. You got her. Good job, buddy. Woo! So we just stopped and talked to a fella on a dirt bike. He had a buddy behind him that was riding with him, and now that guy is no longer behind him. We're gonna head up this trail that they came down and have a look for him. Hopefully the guy's all right. Hopefully he's just got a stalled bike or something and they just got crossed up. But real good to have communications when you're out in the bush, guys, in case you do get separated, or make a meetup point where you can meet up with your buddies if you get separated. There's a lot of trails out here that connect to everywhere and you can get lost really easily. So just keep that in mind if you guys are going out in the backcountry. Always go with a buddy and always make sure that if you do get separated from the people you're with, that you've got some form of communication, whether it be a CB or a radio or a Zoleo or something, you can get in contact with somebody in case of an emergency. So you don't want to get trapped out here in the middle of nowhere and not have any form of communication at all.
When we always go out, we always got our, you know, CBs in our trucks or our GMRS radios for the handhelds. We always make sure that there's 2 or 3 of us. We like to go out in groups anyway with the Jeep Club. So there's always at least 4 or 5 of us, sometimes more, that are all out in the group together. So we don't worry about it too bad, but it also helps when you run into situations like this where you do find somebody out here that's been separated. Now we know we can look for his buddy and keep an eye out for him and point his buddy in the right direction if we run into him, so that they can get hooked back up and continue on riding with their day. So this is a fun little trail. We're gonna head up here and keep going and see where the rest of the day takes us. So we were talking last week when Casey released his video about how tight some of these trails are with the trees. This is normal for Vancouver Island wheeling. The trails and the trees grow right in tight together. Most of these trails aren't much wider than a quad. Luckily the Jeeps are pretty good at fitting through here, but if you're worried about getting pinstriping on your paint, these are definitely not trails that you want to be doing. But there is wider FSR forestry roads that you can run on that won't scratch your paint, but most of us really don't care too much about the paint. It's just there to look shiny, I guess. But all mine's been rubbed a million times. I got a gazillion branch rubs and scrapes on my Jeep. I just don't care. It doesn't bother me at all. So badge of honor, if anything. So just remember, if you're gonna come out with us, trails are gonna be tight. So we just stopped on the trail back there and picked up probably 100 shotgun shells that were all laying all over the trail. Guys, I'm a shooter too, but if you're gonna go out in the bush and shoot clays, that's fine, but pick up your damn shells. Don't leave a mess for somebody else. It's not cool. So we got it all picked up. It's all cleaned up in a garbage bag in the back of the Jeep now, and now we're carrying on down the trail. It only took us literally like a minute and a half, and we picked them all up, guys. That's all it would have taken whoever was doing it to pick them up too. Like, don't be lazy. Pick up after yourselves. Your mother doesn't live out here. She's not gonna pick up after you, and we shouldn't have to either. So we're all out here to enjoy the trail and the forest and the wilderness, but let's keep it clean, guys. That's the way it's supposed to be. We're not supposed to leave a mess out here. Hello! That'll never get old, ever. So this is the lead into one of my favorite trails. We do this one quite a lot just because it's not super technical, but there's a lot of fun little challenges and obstacles. I've been really surprised at the amount of bear scat out on the trail today, though. We haven't seen any bears yet. We saw one mangy deer earlier, but no bears. But there's definitely a lot of sign of them being around, so maybe we'll get luckier today. We might get to see one. I don't know. I haven't seen one yet, but we'll keep our eyes open. We're watching for them. This little cross ditch right here has been getting narrower and narrower and narrower, but I see that by the winter's rains, it's washed a bunch of the rocks down from the road into it, and it's actually looking pretty easy now. It's wide enough now that you can just drive right through it. When we first started coming out on this trail, you literally had to drive across a log to get across there, and it was really tight, but through everybody going through it and through the winter rains, it's managed to become a pretty easy. I don't know, Mike, what do you think? I can't fit under it. I think we're gonna have to cut that one. Temporary delay.
I'm 6 feet.
Yeah, it's the Jeep won't quite fit. Even if I go to the far side, we're gonna have to trim it. There we go, problem solved. We just had to clear a tree that was down. I couldn't get underneath it, so if I'm not fitting under it, Robin's definitely not fitting under it with the rooftop tent. So 2 quick cuts with a chainsaw, it's down out of the way and off to the side of the trail, and we can carry on. This obstacle here is always fun too. We used to be able to go straight through, but so many trees fell down here, we just got tired of cutting them. So now you just go up and around them through this little bypass, which makes it more fun anyway. So those ones we never did cut. They were just too big, we left them. And by the time we did get back with a saw to cut them, there'd already been a bypass made. So we're just gonna keep using the bypass, and that tree can just stay there, and that part of the trail just gets more interesting now. Simple, simple. This here is probably the toughest section of this whole trail. It's just a straight rock garden all the way up. Not hard, you just gotta pick your line, pick your tires where you're going, and climb up it. So I've come up here before in a bone stock TJ and made it no problem. You just gotta watch where you're putting your tires and what you're doing, and you'll be able to get through it no problem. I know it looks difficult, but it's really not. I've taken stock rigs through here, guys with no experience through here. You just got to trust your spotter and trust your line, and you can get through it no problem. It's not very long. It's a short little section, like you can see the end of it here through these little patches of rocks, and then it's just back onto flat trail. But this is probably the most challenging part of this entire trail. So if you've got concerns about your rig getting through it, know that a bone stock TJ with 29-inch tires can go through that no problem if you pick your line right. If you guys end up coming out on runs with us, this is usually the kind of trails that we do. They're not super technical, they're fun, they got lots of little challenges, but I try to taper it for everybody so everybody can come out and play. There is times where we will go and do like pretty hardcore trails, but at the end of the day, nobody wants to have a broken rig. Everybody wants to go home, so we make sure that we taper our runs to those, you know, with the smallest rig basically is what I go by. Now the guys I'm with today, we all have well-built, capable rigs, so none of these are real challenging. This part of the trail here has always been a lot of fun for me. It's sort of a washout. You used to be able to drive up the left side of this gully here, and it was really wide, and you could really just drive on it. It was almost flat. A lot of the stock guys take that side to go up, but to me that's just no fun. So we're gonna go right up the middle here, right up the cut, and try to get up to the top here. And it's definitely more of a challenge. There's more washout, there's more rock, it's way more off camber, so it definitely makes it fun. Camber doesn't do it much justice, but let me tell you, it's pretty steep in a couple spots, and it really, like right this spot right here, I'm straddling rocks that are probably 2 feet below the underside of my Jeep. So, but we just crawl right through it. First gear 4 low is your friend, guys. I tell everybody that. If you have to hit something with speed, you're doing something wrong. Just put it in 4 low and let the Jeep do the work. That's what it's for. So, but this is always a fun section too. I love going through here because you get all off camber and crazy and through the rocks, and the little gullies are fun to wheel through. So this is another little favorite part of this trail for me, because it's just a neat little obstacle. Easy and simple enough to do, but challenging enough to keep you on your toes and make the laugh factor go up a little bit. So if you guys want to come out and try it out, let me know, and we'll get you out in a run with us, and you can try it out for yourselves. It's worth it. So this little section here is fun too. You used to have to go up here to the right, was the easy way to go, but it gets really, really narrow right up by that tree there to the right. So we started taking the little gully on this side, and it's actually become more fun. Ken almost rolled his Jeep here 2 summers ago. He got off camber on the side of this bank coming up, and he had it right on his side, right here in the gully. And it took 3 different Jeeps and a whole bunch of winching and a whole bunch of snatch blocks to get him pulled back up onto the trail without putting it on its side. So that one's always a fun one for us. We always joke at Ken when we come up here to not roll your Jeep, because he was closest I've ever seen him come to roll it, and he's a good wheeler with a capable rig. So just got to be careful and watch your lines, guys. This is a neat little fun uphill section I always like too. There's lots of rocks in the way. You got to kind of pick your way through the little boulder field, but it gets good. I just came through a little cross ditch at the back there. I got close enough to just about touch the passenger mirror to the ground, so it was pretty off camber. That one's always entertaining too. I like it. These kind of rock crawl trails are my favorite. They're just so much fun and so easy, but enough of a challenge to keep you going. So we're gonna keep heading out. We're just about done for the day. We're gonna try to get out of here in the next hour or 2 and get back home for supper, but we wanted to come out and do some wheeling today and get out in the trail. And we got Robin fixed. He's still going strong behind us, and we got everybody out playing and having fun. This is just sort of a side trail we took to keep the adventure going today, so we're making our way out slowly. We'll be home for dinner. I was talking earlier, guys, about how tight the branches and stuff are. This is sort of what we have to deal with most of the time. The trails just get grown over, and you got to just crawl through the shrubs. So it definitely is a little rough on your paint, but none of our Jeeps are really that shiny anymore, so we're not too worried about it. We do a lot of wheeling, so it's branch rubs are just how it goes. It's just nothing you can do about it. We call it West Coast pinstriping. It's definitely a badge of honor, and once you get the first one, the rest of them don't matter. So I know a lot of you guys with the brand new Jeeps are worried about scratching your paint. They make trail scales and stuff that you can put on, and it protects it a little bit, but ultimately it's just gonna happen. Once you get used to it, you stop caring and you just carry on. Getting really tight now. Got branches coming in the windows even, that's so tight. I knocked my mirror on the passenger side in. I'm gonna have to fix that when we stop. Didn't break it, but it turned it, so I'm looking at the ground out that side now. But I don't think anyone's been through this trail quite a while by the looks of it. There's no fresh tracks at all. And there has been a couple trees down that we've seen, so I don't think anyone's come in through here in a bit, but that's all good. We'll make sure this trail stays open. This is a really good one. We really like it, so we'll keep coming through here a few more times and open it back up again and do some cleanup. There's a couple spots we gotta probably do some bridge maintenance on, which is okay. We'll just get our crew to come out here and we'll fix it. And we'll keep this trail open for everybody because it's just a fun trail and we all like doing it. So we're just gonna keep doing it and hope that everybody else that does it enjoys it. This part's fun. This one always gets right off camber. You got to go high to the side so you miss the trees, but when you do that, you get up on angles like this, and then you got to fall off the other side again nice and slow. I love these Jeeps for just the absolute flexibility that they have. You can flex them right out, and I got a pretty decent suspension in mine, so it works really well. I run BDS coils, Bilstein 5100 shocks in mine. They work really good. I'm really happy with it. I could probably have spent a lot more money on the suspension, but it isn't always necessary. What I got works really good, and I'm really happy with it. So we're just gonna keep running it until it either breaks or we have to replace it. But so far, so good. Here's another real fun off-camber section. You get you right up on your side. You're not paying attention to it, but you gotta straddle it because the trail's almost narrower than the Jeep is, so you don't really have much of a choice but to put the one side up on the bank and ride through the little gully here. So it's a lot of fun though. It makes me giggle when I drive through here and stuff like this because the Jeep's on a pretty steep angle, but I know it's not going to tip over. I trust my ability and I trust my rig, and it works really well. So, but it can be intimidating for other people that don't expect it and aren't sure how exactly the Jeep's going to respond. So I know exactly what my Jeep's going to do, so I don't ever worry about it. I just kind of point it and go with it, so it's fun. But I like those. I hope you guys do too. Okay, so that part of the trail is done. Now we're back out on another main logging road heading towards another trail that we're going to do, and then that should be the last one of the day. So Black Bear there decided he's going to take over and lead, so we're going to follow him out. It's always good. So Mike's been a good buddy of mine for a long time. He knows his Jeep well. So many puddles. Okay, back in the tight branchy trails again. This one's really grown up lots over the spring here. All the trees are right tight to the trail, but it's all right. We'll just keep scraping. So I'm not sure if you guys can see it or not, but that hole on the left there has been getting deeper and deeper and deeper every time we come down this trail. And the hole on the right is starting to get deeper, and this trail's getting a lot narrower in this section. I think we might have to come do some maintenance, guys. So this is the last little section of the trail, and then we're out onto the main forestry road and going home. So hope you guys liked this video today. I've shot a bunch of different stuff, tried to get a bunch of different angles of what was going on and what we're doing. I'm enjoying doing these, so hopefully you guys like them. So this is our last obstacle of the day. This is the spot where we always pull in and air down, but I like doing this little rock. It makes me laugh. It's fun. It's really off camber, kind of steep on the other side. We'll crawl down here and we'll air up for the day and call it a day and go home. So it's a great day. I'm glad everybody came out today. We had a lot of fun. Got Robin's Jeep fixed. Everybody had a blast. Nobody's broken. Everybody's safe. So we're gonna get aired up and go home. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you like it. Like and subscribe. Send me any comments you have. Let me know what you like to see, and we'll do this again soon. Cheers.